All right. So Marge and Kyle Bevers, white vigilantes. Now let's go to who's the other most. Okay, we got somebody called that we have called the slasher down here. It's a white man. Okay, I don't know that it's a white man for 100% sure. We have not figured out who it is, but it is somebody who for the past month and a half has went around to these memorials and has slashed them. Slash the faces up, cut the faces up, cut the names up. It should be noted that the person who has done these things has never cut the face of Joseph McCormick, who's white. He's never cut the face of Suzette Babler, who's white. He's never cut the face of Mikey Guzman, who is Mexican. He's only cut the faces of the black people. He's cut little Mike Sago's face multiple times. He cut Eddie Patterson's face multiple times. He's cut Kerry Blake and Logan Bell's face, and so, but he's not. But he's not an equal opportunist, and that's something that separates him from other people. Kyle and Marge Bevers came down here as white vigilantes, and they were not indiscriminate. They washed away the things on Joseph McCormick and Mikey Guzman, and they washed the things away on Lil Mike and on Eddie Patterson. They were just against it all together, all in general. Which is not something that is foreign. During the 60s and during abolitionist times of slavery, John Brown was a white person who died in the struggle for these things. White people have historically died in the struggle for justice for people of color. And one of the reasons why is that is how deep white supremacy, white nationalism, white vigilantism, and white terrorism is that they'll be willing to have collateral damage. They'll be willing to kill a white person. I watched a documentary where a white man who was going on the Freedom Ride said that he wrote a letter to his family, his will and testament, basically, to last words to his family, because he believed he was going to die on the Freedom Rides, because what he had experienced and what he had seen is that white people got beat and assaulted worse than some of the black people sometimes because they were white and next to black people. And one of the black people who rode with him said that was one of the things that when the man who wrote this, he would be severely beat, be put in a hospital, beat horribly. And a black person said that watching it happen, it almost felt as if he was getting it worse because he was white and he was standing next to them. In Selma, Alabama, Selma is one of the things that happened is a white clergyman was killed by white people because he was out there marching in Selma. And so you have always had certain people who are indiscriminate. Anybody who is on the side of people of color, or anybody who's on the side that is against theirs, whether they be white, black, or purple, they're willing for their lives to be expended. And so Marge and Kyle Bevers falls into that category. But the slasher does not fall into that category. He only slashes the faces of the black people. Now, before we decide which category we'll put the slasher in, I want to say this. There is a white man. We do know that this man is white. He's not. We don't know if he's the slasher or not, but this is a white man. He drives a pickup truck. One of the things he does on a regular basis, which I think this is funny. When I'm asleep in the morning, sometimes on his cot, he'll wait for a green light, and then he'll pull up real close to where I'm at, to the side of the street, and just lay on the horn, just honk the horn in an effort to wake me up, and then he'll drive off at the green light. And again, that's a microaggression. You know, all of these things are happening because everybody wants to have their say. Everybody wants to be able to say that they did something, that they had some type of action. And you know what? I'm going to teach them a lesson. Those darn kids, I'll go teach them a lesson. So, okay, that's fine. But one of the things he also does is when it's nobody, because we keep multiple people here, so it's people walking up and down and walking around, keeping an eye on the memorials and stuff like that. When there is nobody walking up and down on memorials or keeping an eye on the memorials, usually when it's raining and we're trying to take cover, one of the things that he does is he pulls up to the memorials and he spray paints the faces. Lil Mike Sago and Joseph McCormick are the ones that he does. It's real easy for him to slide through. Anybody who comes down to say their name square now, you can see from the most recent time in which he's done the spray paint, you can see it stained the light poles from the rain happening, because he does it in the rain. One of his tactics is to wait for the rain. He knows we take cover when the rain comes. And so Lil Mike Sago's pole properly has red spray paint dripping down from it. It's apropos. It looks like blood. The same thing for Joseph McCormick. It's apropos. It looks like blood dripping down from the light pole. And so we do know this. We do know that the spray painter and the honker is the same person. We just don't know if the spray painter and the honker is the slasher. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the slasher in the white vigilante category. Again, The police have come down before and torn down these memorials. Our current sitting intern police chief, Randy Burke, called the memorials of these people trash. He came out here and he was having an interaction with us in the middle of the night when they were stealing blankets all the time in the winter. And he said to his police officers after stealing some blankets and some hand warmers, go ahead and get up the rest of this trash. And right away, his police officers went to tearing down the memorials of Lil Mike Sago, tearing down the memorials of Faustin Guaitigo, the memorials of Demetrius Bennett and Logan Bell and Kerry Blake. And so and this is all on film. These things are all filmed. And so the police officers have torn the memorials down. We've been given citations for the memorials before. And so you get to a place where people who are watching this feel as if the police aren't doing it enough anymore. They feel as if the city isn't doing it enough anymore. The citations isn't enough. And so this man has taken it upon himself to come and slash the faces. He's taken it upon himself to come and slash the names. So we are going to put the slasher, even though we don't know if he's white or not, and we're not sure if he's the hunker or the spray painter, we're going to put the slasher in the white vigilante category. So we got